Good morning, ladies. Good morning, good morning. Um, okay, so number one, as people are coming in, I have not read from my this devotional for quite a while. While my kids were here for 3 weeks, I pretty much didn't, period. And so I just happened to read it this morning, and I just wanted to share it with you guys because I think it's so good. So July 13th in Jesus Calling, it says, I want you to experience the riches of your salvation, the joy of being loved constantly and perfectly. You make a practice of judging yourself based on how you look or behave or feel. If you like what you see in the mirror, you feel a bit more worthy of my love. When things are going smoothly and your performance seems adequate, you find it easier to believe you are my beloved child. When you feel discouraged, you tend to look inward so you can correct whatever's wrong. Instead of trying to fix yourself, fix your gaze on me, the lover of your soul. Rather than using your energy to judge yourself, redirect it to praising me. Remember that I see you clothed in my righteousness, radiant in my perfect love. And I just love that. And I thought that was such a great reminder. And the verses are Ephesians 2, 7 and 8, Hebrews 3, 1, and Psalm 34, 5. Just a really great reminder for starting out our Monday morning, right? Um, okay. Welcome, welcome. I am so glad you're here. I have Nancy is in, she is the co-host today, and so she's going to be um letting people in and paying attention to the chat. I'm thinking as we go, um, if you have questions specifically for me, if you would write those all in capital letters, then it'll be easier for me to find towards the end. Um, I'm going to put us in focus mode so I can get a clean recording. I'm trying to figure this out, by the way. I'm always being the example of figuring things out along the way. So you're welcome for that. And I'm always working on figuring out how to do things as inexpensively as possible. So I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to put us into focus mode. I would love it if you would put in the chat um, where you're joining from and how long have you been coaching or certified? I could have sworn that. Don't mind me. Interesting. They have changed some things. Okay, so I guess I'm not doing that. What I'm going to do is, there we go. Okay, let's get started. So I'm not, while I'm teaching in this beginning, I'm not going to be paying attention to the chat, but I will look at it towards the end. So again, if you have a question along the way, just put your question in all caps so it's easier for me to find. Um, let's see. So I just want to thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time to be here, investing this time in yourself, this energy. And I know there are 8 million other things that you could be doing right now on this Monday, late morning, early afternoon. Um, So I am honored and very thankful that you're here. And I want to tell you that this is not going to be something where you just sit and take a bunch of notes and then walk away from it and be like, oh, that was great, whatever. My hope is that you're going to leave with more clarity, not more information. Because nothing that you're going to learn today, nothing that I'm going to say today is magic. It's nothing that you probably haven't already heard, if I'm being honest. Especially if you have attended other like how to grow your business, how to create your coaching business workshops or anything like that. I what I am most interested in is implementation. We already have enough information. We have too much information, and too much information causes overwhelm and confusion. And we all know that too much information, overwhelm, and confusion leads to either inaction or it diffuses our actions. We take a lot of little actions all over the place and we don't get the results that we want. So, this is going to be a workshop. I created a workbook and it's like as almost as basic as you can possibly get. And I want you to use it to be thinking through things, taking either writing notes or if you're using it on your computer, typing up your notes, evaluating where you're at right now, and making decisions as we go. So if you haven't opened the workbook yet, Nancy, if you could will you put that link? I have it linked as there's a Google Doc. And when you click on that one, it will open up on your computer and it says make a copy. So when you make a copy of that, that is your copy. So you can type in it and that is your very own document. You can save it into your own Google Drive or you can download it to save it on your computer, however you want to work with that. Or I also created it as a PDF. So you can save the PDF to your computer and print it out and work on it. I do want to say if you're going to print out the Google Doc form, I recommend you change it from being pink. I don't really like putting the color because if I'm going to print something out, I don't want to print in color. But the way that you do that is you just go to File to change the background color. You click File in the document and you go to Page Setup at the bottom. And there's a little spot that says Page Color, and you can change that back to white to change the background color. I just like the pink. I think it's pretty. Um, okay. I feel weird I'm literally not looking at the chat at all, and that feels so weird to me, but I will later. Okay, so I'm also going to, as we go, so I am going to have to open up the chat. I'm going to ask you questions to answer in the chat periodically. And obviously y'all can chat in the chat as well. So today I am going to be talking about 5 essentials of your coaching practice. We can list out probably 50 things in our coaching practices that we think we need to focus on. And that could be true at certain points in time. But at the beginning, I want to talk about the 5 things that really matter to create the foundation. And it's not social media or the algorithm or websites. We think that we need to build everything at once and kind of bypass the foundation. And then we learn that the foundation is very important. We think we need a perfect website. We think we need perfect branding, a perfect niche, perfect social media strategy, and all of the things. And then we're overwhelmed by needing all of these different things and we end up spinning our wheels. So today I want to simplify and I want to clarify. And in your workbook, if you have that opened, you will notice that there is a section that says the scorecard. And so at the end of each of the five sections, the five essentials sections, there's going to be a prompt for you to score yourself. And that score is a score of clarity. How clear are you in this area? So a one is not clear at all, muddy water. And a 10 is crystal clear and you're consistently implementing. So that's when I say write your score, it's clarity from 1 to 10. And by the end of the workshop, you're going to kind of see where there is some unclarity and where you want to focus and start creating more clarity so that you can continue on doing the next step and the next step and the next step. Because we don't need to do everything all at once. We just need to do the next right thing. And one of the things this has just become really more and more clear to me over even the past few weeks. Clarity creates specificity, and specificity makes consistent action easier. And consistent action is what builds a thriving coaching practice. And we say it all the time. I just need to be more consistent. I preach consistency from the rooftops, and consistency absolutely matters. But without clarity and without specificity, we can be consistently doing the wrong thing, or it's harder to be consistent because we're so unclear. So clarity comes first. And when we're clear about who you help, the problem you solve, the message you're sharing, what you're offering, and how people become clients, consistency gets so much easier. We're not guessing. We're not chasing every new idea. Constraint is so important. You're just taking the next step. So by the end of this, I want you to know, what do I need to focus on? What is my next step? So I have been a little bit about me and how I got to this place. I literally, you guys, I did not ever intend to coach about coaching and business stuff. I actually kind of made fun of the coaches that would end up switching to coaching about business. But as I was going along and learning, and I was doing all the things, I was throwing spaghetti at the wall. I was trying to figure out, I am not a rule follower. I'm an Enneagram 8. I'm a challenger. And so I did things the way that I wanted to do them. And honestly, more and more, I'm like, okay, they were right. And so I've kind of, even though I've built my business kind of chaotically, if I'm being honest, I have realized I'm narrowing down, and really going back to the way that I was taught to do things, which I will be talking about here. So I started coaching 5 years ago, and it's really just been in the past year and a half where I have been more clear and kind of going back to the beginning. And I'll talk about my business along the way too. So I was a high school counselor. I went back to school when I was 45 to be a high school counselor. And I decided that I didn't want to be a high school counselor anymore. I wanted to actually help people that wanted help. So I got out of the public school system. And when I got certified as a coach 5, 6 years ago, I don't know, I was like, oh, I'm going to be a coach. I'm going to get clients. I'm going to make all this money. It's going to be wonderful. And I quickly learned that becoming a coach and getting certified as a coach is completely different from building a coaching business, getting clients. Like coaching, I can do that all day long. No problem. It's just that there was nobody to coach. And so that's what we are, that's growing our coaching businesses, is learning how to find people to coach, right? And then all of the stuff that comes along with that. Um, so I am talking to, I imagine, a pretty big-ish realm of people that are very newly certified that haven't done anything in starting their business. Um, and also up to people like me that have been doing this for a long time and may be frustrated, or um, just honestly, some people just want to be here, right? So there's that. So we're in different seasons, we're at different stages, and we're all working towards the same goal. Um, so back to consistency. Consistency totally matters. Clarity comes before consistency. So just imagine you get in the car to go somewhere, but you don't really know where you're going. And you're just driving around and you're consistently pushing the gas pedal. You're consistently making turns, but without a destination, you can be as consistently driving as you want, but you're not going to reach the place that you actually want to be because you're not clear on it. Um, and another, this is kind of an aside on consistency, but I love this so much. This popped up in my feed last week, and it prompted a podcast episode. It's a quote by James Clear, and it says, "In theory, consistency is about being disciplined, determined, and unwavering. In practice, consistency is about being adaptable. Don't have much time, scale it down. Don't have much energy, do the easy version. Find different ways to show up depending on the circumstances. Let your habits change shape to meet the demands of the day. Adaptability is the way of consistency." And I'm not really going in that direction today, but I just love that quote. And I think it's so helpful we can be consistent without being rigid. And we can adapt within our consistency and still give ourselves credit for doing the things. Okay. So you have the scorecard. As we go through these 5 essentials, I want you to score yourself, not where you hope to be. I want you to be totally honest about where you're at right now in this moment. And again, 1 is not clear at all. 10 is crystal clear and consistently implementing with that adaptability, being adaptable. Okay, essential 1, and you can follow right along with me in the workbook. Essential 1 is a clear person, clarity on who you help. And I fight against this as much as the next person. If I niche down, I'm excluding people that I could help. I don't want to niche down because then I'm eliminating other people and I want more clients. And niching down, the person that you are getting clear on isn't about who you can help, because you can help anybody with anything. That's our coaching. Our coach training has taught us we can help anybody with any problem. Niching down is about your marketing, who you're talking to in your marketing. And I assume, if anybody is doing paid ads, awesome, great for you. Um, I'm, I'm considering dabbling in it a little bit. But most of us are doing organic marketing. We are marketing through social media, through a podcast, through YouTube, through blogging or Substack. And so niching down is more about how we are marketing. And when we're talking to somebody, a specific person, focusing on our target person, our ideal client, there's a lot of different things you can call it. We might resonate with other people and they could come to us and we can still coach them. This isn't about who you can coach. This is about drawing in the people that you can help and who you're marketing to and giving you a focus to talk about in your marketing. So being clear and being specific about who you help helps you to create content, helps you um, to be creative and to create. I don't know why my notes are being wonky. There we go. And so because we are marketing organically, creating content is what we do. That is how we organically market. And so who are we talking to in our marketing? And people say, if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. So who are you talking to? And niching isn't limiting you. It's just attracting the right people to you. Specificity creates connection. Specific wins. And think about who that person is, what you are helping people with. They want somebody that understands their struggle. And so you want people to recognize themselves in your marketing. What is your person struggling with? I think I just skipped down. My notes went wonky, so I'm a little bit confused. Okay. We are marketing to a specific person to help them recognize themselves in our marketing. So think about when you are looking for help, like on the Googles, do you look for health? Do you search health, or do you search my shoulder hurts after working at the computer all day? How can I fix that? When you're searching Google, you're looking for specific answers. So we want to be talking about specific things to a specific person. It's the way that people are drawn to you. So in the workbook, a clear person, who do you love helping? Who do you understand well? And generally, unless you are marketing to men specifically, or have something really specific, typically we're marketing to us 5 years ago or 10 years ago in general. Who do you enjoy coaching? What season of life are they in? What are they struggling with? What are they hoping will change? So who is it that you help? And if you're, or have a general idea, I would love to see who you help in the chat. So feel free to put who you help in the chat. And just thinking, what season of life are they in? What keeps them awake at night? What are they praying is going to change? Who are these people specifically? Women 60 plus. Yes. And think about your I help statement. And I saw a post a while back. I think, oh my word, Riley Forbes, maybe I think is her name. And she had a post, and the only thing that I remember about it was she she teaches starting your I help statement with as a, and so it could be like, as a life coach for women 60 and over, I help you to whatever the rest of your help I help statement is. So I kind of liked that instead of just the normal I help do whatever so they can. The as a Christian life coach who works with women with ADHD, I help you whatever. So thinking through your I help statement, and then what is something that you need to be more specific about, and then score yourself in this area. How clear are you on who you help? Women in transition, from raising kids, homeschooling, all the things. Yep. What is their next? So essential one is who you help. Essential two is what is the problem you help them solve. And I host, I facilitate a coaching call on, it's not a coaching call. I facilitate a Zoom call on Fridays with coaches. So if you're not on that list, reach out to me if you want to be on that list. And we just had a really good conversation about this last week. People don't buy coaching. People are not searching for coaching calls. People are buying transformation. They're buying the solution to their problem. They're buying the results that they want to attain. They have a problem. They are paying for the solution to that problem. They're not paying for coaching calls. We don't buy medicine because we want to take medicine. We buy medicine to help us feel better, to get relief from a headache or a cold. We don't buy tools because we want the tools. We want what the tools can do. If we buy a drill, it's not because we want a drill. We buy a drill because we want a hole in the wall. We buy nails because we want them to hold pictures. Does anybody do that anymore? I don't. We use command strips. So nobody buys coaching because they love coaching. They buy hope, they buy confidence, freedom, peace, healing, clients, better health. They're paying for transformation. Coaching is the vehicle, and transformation or change is what they're buying. And there are two different problems going on. There's the problem that the client thinks that they have, how they would describe their problem. And so we want to be talking to that problem. And also, we know that there's a different problem underneath. We know that the real problem is how they're thinking, how they're feeling, and how they're acting. The thought, feeling, action, creation cycle. And we want to talk to both. We want to talk to the problem that they see, that they want to solve. And we also want to speak to that problem that's underneath. And thinking about the problem that we think that the client has, is this a problem people are actively trying to solve? Is this a problem people are looking for help? People are looking for the solution. And you want to make sure that this is a problem that people are willing to pay to get help with. So thinking about what are they awake at 3 o'clock in the morning thinking about? What are they Googling? What are they saying? I'm so tired of, I just wish, if only. So what are those things that your ideal client is saying? What are they searching for? And this is you really, in order to do this kind of marketing, you have to kind of get in their head. And you have to be able to talk to them about their problem even better than they can describe their problem. And then they feel understood. I think I'm jumping ahead, but so write 5 specific problems that your client experiences. So if you like thinking about if you coach on weight loss, I help women lose weight. What are 5 specific problems that women trying to lose weight are experiencing? That that nighttime eating, that witching hour, wanting to eat while they're sitting around watching TV, going into their closet and not being able to find clothes to wear, avoiding going to social events because they don't want people to see them. So looking at specific problems that one person is going to be having. And then what is your score on a clear problem? How clear are you on the problem that your person has? And then, so essential 1 is a clear person, 2 is a clear problem, and 3 is a clear message. So, what are you saying to this person about their problem? And this is where clarity helps so much. We and I have experienced this a ton myself. You sit down to write a post, you know you want to be consistently writing content, but you sit down and you're like, what do I even talk about? I could talk about so many things that I can't narrow it down to what I want to talk about. And so what we want to be asking is, what does my ideal client need to hear from me today? And if we have a clear person and we have a clear problem, it's going to be a lot easier to know what that person needs to hear from you today. And we've heard a lot of people say clear over clever. Be clear, not clever. Our goal isn't to sound impressive or, enlightened. We want to help our potential client feel understood. We want them to know that we see them. We understand where they're at. And sometimes we might post inspirational quotes, but more than that, people need to feel understood. Like if you go, who is it? Stacey Bayman uses the example of a doctor. If you're experiencing symptoms and you go to a bunch of doctors and they're like, "Oh, I don't know." And then you go to a doctor and you tell them your symptoms and they say, "Oh, you have blah blah blah." Whatever condition, syndrome, whatever virus that you have, you're like, oh my gosh, they know what's wrong with me. That means they can help me. And that's such a relief, just knowing that somebody else understands and knows what you're going through, what you're struggling with. That in and of itself is like, oh, I can get help now. I'm not alone. And I just heard a coaching call this past week, and this was a brilliant content, um, a brilliant content strategy. And it requires specificity and clarity. In a post, just like we listed out those specific problems that your client is experiencing, when you know who your client is, what their problem is, you can talk to them about that problem. Talk about a specific problem. So this is in a piece of content. Talk about a specific problem they're having, why that problem matters, like how is it impacting them, what is actually causing this problem. And that's where the thought, feeling, action, that's where the creation cycle or the model comes in. What this is demonstrating that we understand the problem, what is causing it. Talk about a simple solution, and then invite them to go deeper with you, to take that next step with you, whether it's a call to action to schedule a call or to sign up for your free offer or do a workshop, whatever it is. So that was that, just that little piece was a great takeaway that I had from a call that I listened to this past week. And every piece of content or messaging that you're putting out has a job. So you want to think about, is this post, is this piece of content trying to reach new people, to bring new people into your world, to create trust with people that are already in your world, or to invite them to go deeper? Those would be your call to actions. And we're not just creating content to create content. We're doing it with a purpose. What do I want this piece of content to be? What do I want the next step to be? And just keeping that in mind. And what I teach in Full Steam Ahead and in my private coaching with coaches is create one long form content piece consistently, ideally weekly, but however you set it up, whatever you are willing to do to get started, to commit to doing consistently, whatever that is. So a long form piece of content, a podcast, a workshop, a YouTube video, a Substack post, and then you repurpose that for shorter content and for emails. And that way, consistency becomes more sustainable. Um, so in the workbook, thinking about your current messaging, and your messaging is in your profile. Thinking about when they land on your profile, what is the messaging that they see? Is that speaking to them? Is that calling out your ideal person with that problem that you are helping them solve? Does your message communicate who you help, the problem you solve, the transformation? I put that you provide, but you don't really provide it. They have to earn it. The transformation is on them. Is the chat not working? Um, do you frequently invite viewers to take the next step, whatever that is? And then thinking through a long form content plan, what could that look like for you? Is anybody having problems with the chat? Yeah? Why? Why? What is that?
It says it's disabled.
It does?
It wasn't, but all of a sudden now it says chat disabled.
Okay. Interesting. Well, let's fix that. It was not. Participants can chat with everyone.
Working.
That is so bizarre because I absolutely made sure that that was set correctly when we came on. Okay. Thank you. Yay. Okay. Please chat. Um, okay, so thinking about that, what could my long form content look like? What does my ideal client need to understand right now, or what do they need to hear from me right now? And list out 5 content ideas, and then score yourself on your clarity of messaging right now, what you're doing right now. Is your messaging super clear, or is it as clear as mud? So we have a clear person, a clear problem, clear messaging, and 4 is a clear offer. And this is where we are not selling coaching. People don't want to buy coaching. Simple sells, confusion does not sell. So we want to make it as simple as possible. We make our offers super complicated because we are trying to prove that our offers are valuable, and we want to give people a lot of options because we want them to come in and hire us, but that just creates confusion. One person, one problem, one solution, one offer. And we're not selling coaching calls. Nobody wants to buy coaching calls. They want to buy the transformation that they can get because of those calls, as a result of those calls. And I was thinking about this on my walk yesterday. It's more about pricing. I think people kind of will think about, if they have a package, then they're charging so much per coaching call. On our call that we were on last week, where somebody was kind of working through their offer, she was talking about individual calls and then a small package, and her ultimate goal was a 12-week package. And the more um the more decision points that somebody comes up to, the more overwhelming it gets. So we want to help the decision to be easier. When we sell in packages, it helps your client make the decision one time. And then they're like, okay, I'm in for this package. I'm in for this 3 months. I'm in for this 6 months. If we're selling, and like, you do whatever you want to do. I'm not telling anybody what to do. But my thought is, the longer the package, if it's the amount of time that you think fits for solving this problem for um this ideal client, like 12, I can help somebody lose weight in 12 weeks or whatever it is, whatever the problem is, then give them the 12 weeks. Like, here, I help women for 12 weeks. And what I always say about packaging is, have one package offer when you get on a sales call or whatever, however you do that. Have one offer. I work with people. My offer is I work one-on-one with clients for 3 months. It's $2,000. And if they say, I really don't really want to work that long, or if I think they don't really need 3 months, I can change it. I'm making this up as I go. You guys are making this up as you go. You can decide on a consult call whatever you want to work out with a client. But I suggest making that offer, and then they can ask questions and you can work out on it together. But you're practicing saying one offer at one price. Here's how you work with me. Um, so pricing has just been on my mind because we had a really long conversation about it. You and also you want to think about when you are creating your offer, does that offer, if you had a full client roster, does that offer fit into the life that God is calling you to live? Does that offer work towards creating the business that you want, the life that you want? Because you don't want to build a practice and have a bunch of clients that you resent because you're doing all of this work and you're not charging enough money. So just thinking about that ahead of time. And you can always change your price. You can charge, a lower price and decide, okay, it's time to this. I'm starting to feel some feelings about it. And you can decide my next clients, the price is going up. So that was all a total aside. So your offer is the transformation that you're helping your client get. And then the features of the offer are the length of time, how much it costs, how you work with them, the whatever amount of proximity you provide. Is it just a once a week call? Do you offer Voxer support or Marco Polo support, whatever it is? So your offer is, what is the transformation or the change that they're going to experience, the results they're going to experience? How long is your package? What does it look like? And how much do you charge? So can you describe your offer in one sentence and lead with the transformation? Always lead and focus on the transformation. And can somebody easily describe your offer? And I'm telling you, people need to hear the same thing so many times before they remember it. So many times. So, what is your score on your offer? And in the chat, I would love to hear, how confident are you in talking about your offer? Can it just roll off your tongue? Or do you kind of hesitate a little bit? Get a little like in your gut before you say the price? Yes. Love it, Patty. Spit it out, Cassie. Yeah, and I encourage like if you if you know, especially if you have like a consult call or something scheduled, or you're going to a networking event or whatever, you want to practice saying your offer out loud with your voice, saying it confidently. You want it to just roll off your tongue. Yeah, refine it one sentence. Rondi, same. Like, I cannot even tell you how many conversations I have had with ChatGPT about my I help statement, how many times I have changed um that profile bio on my Instagram. And really it's making a decision. Okay, I'm making this decision. This is who I'm talking to. This is the problem I'm helping them to solve. This is my main messaging. Just making the decision and committing to it for a period of time. But it really does taking the step of making a decision to get clear. I know, Cassie, I know. Same. If I could just talk about all of the general stuff and people would just come and be like, yes, please help me, that would be great. And really, and even if you are doing paid advertising, buying Facebook ads and stuff, you still have to get specific on this. You have to pick the audience that you are sending, that the ads are targeting. You have to talk about the problem that you're helping them solve. You're talking about the solution. So even in the paid marketing, it's pretty much the same thing. You just get in front of more people um, with the paid. You have to it's time or money. You spend time marketing to become more visible, or you pay money to be more visible. Okay, number 5 is a clear client journey. Where what is the path from people discovering you to becoming a client? And we think that it's a better website, a prettier logo, colors, Canva graphics, but we want to narrow it down to what does that journey look like of people first becoming aware that you exist. From that, where do they find you? So for me, it could be, um, well, LMS is one, Instagram, Facebook. I don't focus as much on them, but that could be where they find me. Substack, my podcast, YouTube, and then, Google. I have my Google business profile up there. So that's like at the top of the funnel. That's where all of the people could be finding me, finding you. So what are all of those things that you're doing where they could be entering your funnel? And then as they're in your funnel, they are learning to trust you. They're seeing your posts, they're seeing your Substack articles, they're seeing your videos, they're getting your emails. All of those are the trust building. And then we invite them to take the next step, to get on a consult call, come to a workshop, whatever, however that is for you. Where is it that you're making the offer for them to pay you to actually become clients? So what does that journey look like for you? And it can be really helpful to map that out because then you can look at, okay, where am I spending my time? And is this doing the job that it's supposed to do? Which every piece of your business, everything that you're doing should be helping people to take one step forward. So your client journey is they find you, they spend time with you and learn to trust you, and then they sign up and buy from you. So as you're working in your business, ask yourself, What job is this activity doing? And if it's not helping people find you, helping people trust you, or helping people sign up with you, it might just be but busy work. Keep it simple. Focus on those things. Finding people, helping people to find you, helping them to get to trust you and know you more, and then inviting them to take that next step with you. So I would love to know, what is your primary platform that you're using on social media or marketing, whatever it is? And then what is your score in your client journey? Facebook, Instagram, Substack, Instagram, Facebook, IG and Facebook. Yes, Angela signed up for Full Steam Ahead. That's so exciting. Instagram, Facebook. And if your scores are smaller, then you just know, okay, go back to where my score is the highest and start from there. What's the next step? Where do I need to focus? And I'm going to share with you, going to show you what my 5 essentials. And I know I scheduled this for an hour. I know better than that. I should always schedule it for 90 minutes. Okay, I'm going to share my so my 5 essentials, and like I saw Sherry ask about helping different people, and each different person that you help is a different it's a different 5 essentials page. So you would have 5 essentials for each different person, which then again, like I said, it dissipates the content. So that's, if we can get really clear on one person, that is ideal. And also, I know I do that too. I um, have to work through that because I love helping coaches with their businesses, and I also love doing general life coaching. But being clear, speaking clearly to these things helps so much. So in this area, my clear person is a Christian life coach. Christian life coaches who want to build a coaching practice that serves people and supports the life that they want to be living. I help Christian coaches build a coaching practice with clarity, confidence, and consistency. My clear problem is, we know how to coach. Most coaches know how to coach. They got certified in coaching, but they don't know how to build a coaching practice. They're overwhelmed, trying to do everything, aren't sure what actually moves the business forward. I would add to that, they, don't know what to invest in, what technology to use. It can be very expensive. My clear messaging is build your coaching practice one foundation at a time. Tech doesn't have to be an obstacle. Clarity creates specificity. Specificity makes consistent action possible, and consistency builds a thriving coaching practice. My clear offer is, I have a free workshop, I have Full Steam Ahead, and I have Steadfast. So just getting just this workshop, that was an offer. It was a free offer, but it was an offer. So I said, come to this free workshop. You signed up, you got the email, you came. My next offer is Full Steam Ahead, helping coaches build the foundations of their coaching practice. And then after Full Steam Ahead, I invite you into Steadfast. My clear path to clients is my weekly content, which is Substack, podcast, Instagram, whatever. I invite you into the free workshop. I also, email is in there. And then the path is Full Steam Ahead or private client. And then after that, Steadfast and or private client. So I'm not like, this is, as you can see, I'm not exactly following um, my own teaching, but generally I am. And again, that's where adaptability is so important. We have to be adaptable. If you take exactly what I say and try to force it to fit what you do, it might not work. You might need to adapt some of it. I'm always learning and watching and listening and asking myself, how do I use this information in my business? And I will say, if I were going back to the very beginning, I would follow this path. Knowing now what I did not know then, I would do it differently for sure. Okay, so looking at your scores, where is it that you think you need to focus on next? What is your next step? Where do you want to put effort into your coaching practice at this point? And like I think it was Cassie that said her numbers were getting smaller. So the more clear you are up at the beginning and stay with that clarity, the easier it is and the higher your scores will be, getting down to that fifth essential. So what is it that what of the which of those five essentials do you want to be working on first? And if you don't have that clear person, then it's going to be really hard to have clarity in the rest. Okay, that is the information that I have. I know. Always going back and forth. Always. And here's my learning from today. Shanna, don't ever schedule a 1 hour workshop ever again. They're always going to be an hour and a half. Okay, so I'm going to transition now just for time. I'm going to spit this out really quickly because I want to honor people's time. Um, so if you don't know, I have full steam ahead. I have another round that is starting in August. It is a 6 week program for coaches. It's a group program. I there's one teaching each week and I honestly believe we do not need more information. So any of the information that I am providing in Full Steam Ahead is really just reiterating things that we already know, maybe in a different way. Um, and also specifically to where we are in building our businesses. Um, and again, it starts in August. There's the link is there on your workbook with all of the information. I have the calls scheduled out and everything. The price is going up right now. Full Steam Ahead is $500 uh, for the 6 weeks. We have a teaching each week. We have a 90-minute content call talking about the information and coaching. And then we have a 90-minute implementation call where we do co-working and whatever it is that you're coming up against. Whatever you're coming up against in your business, whatever is overwhelming you or confusing you or that you need help on. A lot of times I will just have you share your screen and we walk through whatever it is. I'm kind of I'm a techie nerd, but not like not the techie side of it. Like I'm not coding techie. I'm user techie. I don't know, whatever. Um, so a lot of times people will share their screens, we'll walk through whatever it is that they need help with. Um, the price is going up from 500 to 597 on Thursday. So if you sign up before Thursday, obviously, you get the lower price. And also, I'm doing a bonus call on Thursday. I've never done this before, and I'm actually doing it um, to show and also for me to have to like look at things and really lay it out for my own self. I'm going to do, I've never done this before, so I don't know what it'll look like, but I'm going to do a behind the scenes of my tech stack call to show you how I run my coaching practice. This just saying this makes me a little bit nervous. How I run my coaching practice without spending a ton of money. I I don't have any giant platform. I do everything myself. I don't pay anybody else to do anything. So that's what Thursday's call is like the bonus call. I'm going to show you what my setup is, which also means I have to map out my setup. Um, so that is just a little added bonus for that. And one of my, um, what is it? I don't know, modes of operation is to be very generous and to over deliver. And so sometimes I'll like just decide, hey, I have space. Let's have an impromptu co-working call. Let's get some things done. So that can happen too. Everything's recorded. So if you are interested in full steam ahead, I would love, love, love to have you. And the VIP upgrade is it's $200 more. You get 2 one-on-one calls and you get private messaging with me throughout the 6 weeks. Does anybody have any questions about any of it? And if you can't stay, totally get it. You will get the replay sent to your email um, after it all downloads onto my computer. Any question? I don't see any all caps. And also the chat was disabled for a hot minute, so that could be a reason.
Shanna, Amanda was asking if the tech stack call is part of the workshop or if they join.
It is for the people that join before Thursday. The call is on Thursday. I already have it. I even have it scheduled. Any other questions about any of it? I know what time on Thursday. Excellent question, Mary White. Let me see if I can find it. Where's my calendar? Any other questions while I'm looking for this? Thursday at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. So 11 Eastern. If you have high scores on all the things you went over, is this program for us? So that's kind of the beginning. And anybody that has been in Full Steam Ahead want to talk about that? Anybody have input? Because I don't.
I'll talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it helps the community, and the guidance that Shanna offers is really valuable. Like just being able to get a lesson from her kind of puts it in a practical voice for me and gives me steps and action plans. And then when we have the working calls, we just work together, and it's even if somebody else is, sharing their screen, it's something that I also needed to know or want to know. And maybe I'm not ready to know, but I'm going to get ready to know. Um, but it's always been very helpful. And um, it's it's good for me for guidance. So even if you scored high on certain things, I think that that's probably good for you, and that you're ready to maybe go into a next level. And I think Shannon would be able to help you with that next level. That's just my opinion. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, and in full steam ahead, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm helping you. I want you to decide, like the first week is um you get to do this. Like we can get so frustrated and like, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. And we are literally choosing to create these businesses and we get to decide what we want them to look like. So it's kind of reiterated throughout the whole program is what do you want your business to look like? Like how many hours a week do you want to work? How many clients do you actually want? So we get really specific about that. And then what does that work time look like? What is it that you're doing to find clients? Um, and so it just I don't tell you what to do. There's no like, you need to do this, 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 and this, but I have frameworks
And
and
accountability. And there's like a level of
accountability.
accountability that personally I need. I wish I she would tell me what to do.
Well,
But
but Sherry, I
I
do
need the
have told you some things to
accountability.
do.
But I
Say never
often
tell you
hear
what to do.
I hear Shanna's voice in my head all the time. But it's
That's my
there's
favorite
just
thing
that
to hear.
it's just the accountability is really important for me because I with my brain I tend to wander and get overwhelmed very easily and think I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that. And Shanna's like, whoa, okay, let's look at the plan. What was the plan that we talked about?
Let's
What
be
was what we,
specific.
yeah, and just,
What do you expect? Yeah.
reins me in a little bit when I need that. So that's me, my personal story is that there's a lot of accountability. And again, just the community is really, really good. And we enjoy each other and learn and support each other. And it's just a really helpful community.
Yeah. And celebrate together. When somebody gets a client, we or when somebody, you know, puts out a post that they've really been struggling with, or they come in and say they whatever it is. And we celebrate non-business things too. So that's fun too. And if you have questions, if you have specific questions and you don't want to put them in the chat, feel free to email me hello@shannapeiser.com. Just respond to any one of my emails that you have received or will receive in the next few days. Um,
I would
you got
love to say I would love to say something about FSA. Um, okay, I'm a huge fan of the recording, the coaching um, portion of it, or I'm sorry, what the education piece of it that you send out every week. And the workbooks are incredible. So, like, just that alone is amazing. And I re-listen to it every cycle. Um, I hired Shanna initially as my one-on-one coach. And so I am going through these and I am able to revisit them with everyone. And I love attending them. So for the FSA, it's like what, 3 hours a week for 6 weeks? Is that right?
yeah,
So
yeah. Plus
it's a
plus the
lot.
teaching. Yeah, it
It,
is.
it's amazing. And I feel personally like I get my money's worth out of that just from the call and the workbook. So the 3 hours is the bonus piece of it. And you can bring anything specific to you. It doesn't have to be general. And she's a tech wizard in helping all of us with all of our different platforms, which is amazing because there's not many things that she hasn't known, but she learns it and then like talks to everyone about it. So
That's
very
when I
good.
geek out. When I get to learn on the new platforms. I'm like, this is so fun. Thank
Highly
you.
recommend.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, the tech, it's really your thoughts about the tech and probably overthinking the tech and making the tech so much bigger than it actually is. I think it's probably worth it just for the tech help, to be honest. But, and also, like, if it's not right for you, do not do it. So, um, there was something else that came up when Nancy was talking, and I can't remember what it was because I have memory issues. The teachings and the calls. It was something about those calls. Oh, I know what it was. I really, really am about implementation because I am a consumer of information like nobody's business. And I heard my pastor said one time years and years and years ago, inspiration, no, impression without expression leads to depression. When we are taking in so much information and we are not creating anything, we are not utilizing it, that leads to depression. That leads to stuckness. And so I really am about um, inspiring, challenging, um, poking you to get you to implement because we all have enough information. We all have so much information. It's really in the implementing that um we get stuck. And I hear a lot of times on calls and with some people on this call right now, like, I just need more clients. I need more clients. Why don't I have more clients? And then I ask, what have you been doing to get clients? And not in a judgment way at all, but for information. And then they're like, oh, yeah, I haven't really been doing anything. Have you been posting? Not really. Have you been talking to people? Not really. So clients are not, and like this, I'm going to say this, and I apologize to the new coaches in the room. We think that we're going to graduate and get that certificate, and people, like, I have seen this happen. They're like afraid to put a post out saying that they're a life coach because they think they're going to be overwhelmed with clients. They're not going to be able to handle all of the clients that are knocking their door down. And that just does not happen. And if it happens for you, I am honestly praising God for you. That is wonderful. That was not my experience. Has not been my experience. So it does take it takes effort, it takes work, and it takes developing emotional resilience to keep going and doing the things when you're not seeing results, when you're not getting engagement, when you're not getting views, because we have to push through. And I'll often tell people, like, we think that when it gets hard, that, oh, maybe God didn't say this. Okay, well, that's also what the serpent said to Eve and Adam in the garden. Did God really say? Like, that is the original lie because it implies God didn't really say that. And there is nobody in the Bible that I know of that God said, go do this thing, and it was easy. They had to keep going. They had to overcome ridicule, um, death threats, chasing down, hiding in caves. And I just recently I was thinking about Mary. I think it was a devotional I was reading. Mary was the literal mother of God. And can you, like, I started really thinking about the angel came and told her that she was going to give birth to the Son of God. She was a virgin. She wasn't married. Can you imagine the ridicule, the all of the things that people put on her that she had to endure? Then she gave birth to Jesus, the Son of God. And, mothering isn't easy. He probably wasn't easy either because he was fully human while he was fully God. And then she had to watch him be ridiculed and suffer. Like, Mary was chosen to be the mother of the Son of God. And that was so hard. Like, it was not a paved road of daisies and rainbows. So I just, and that has nothing to do with anything except that we really do have to be resilient and to know there's going to be obstacles. It's going to be hard. And if we really know that this is what we want to do and that God has laid this on our heart, then it really does take having other people to walk alongside you to do this, to be like, oh my gosh, I just want to give up, and to have that person to talk to. And if it's not me, make sure that it's somebody else that you're getting into community with to help you do the work. Yeah, Sherry. So what's the solution? Just start writing. I love it. The keep going. Yes, keep going. Keep going, keep going. I honestly, there have been so many times where I have been like, I just need to go get a job. I just need to go get a job. And then I think about going and getting a job, going back into being a high school counselor or whatever, and I want to vomit. And I'm like, there's no other option. This is it. So keep going. Let's go. And the past 2 years have been the best. It's so fun when it starts working. And I spent a lot of time like at that precipice going, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And it's not perfect. And I have way bigger goals than where I'm at, but it's so worth pushing through. I bet you could find some customers at Starbucks, some clients. Maybe just go sit at Starbucks and talk to people. Morning bartending, yes. Perfect. Okay, any other questions? Feel free to reach out if you have specific questions, and I would love to have you in Full Steam Ahead. And if it's not the time, then I totally get that too. And I hope that you find value in my Substack podcast, whatever else I decide to do. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, for taking this time. And I would love also, if whether you join or not, I would love to hear, what did you get from this workshop? What what is the thing that you're going to focus on? What's the next step that you're going to be taking? The replay will be out within 2 hours. How about that? I'll be sending it out to everybody then. It's going to take a hot minute for it to download onto my computer because, we are 90 minutes in. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you all so much. And again, I would love to hear, what's your next step? If you have questions about Full Steam Ahead, just reach out. Thank you so much. Bye, ladies.